The Pocket 4P is finally official, not leaked, not rumored, not hidden inside blurry screenshots from Chinese social media. Official. DJI launched it in China today and confirmed almost everything we've been discussing on this channel over the last few weeks. Dual cameras, a 1-inch sensor, a dedicated 60mm telephoto lens D-Log2, 4K at 240 frames per second. And honestly, looking at the final product, I think DJI did a lot of things right, but I also think there's one issue that nobody's talking about, and surprisingly, it has nothing to do with image quality. Because for months, people kept asking DJI for a pocket camera with a telephoto lens. People wanted more flexibility, people wanted better portraits, people wanted something that felt closer to carrying 2 cameras instead of 1. Today, a DJI finally delivered exactly that. The question is, now that it's here, do you actually need it? Let's start with what DJI announced. The biggest change is obviously the dual camera system. The main camera uses a 1-inch sensor with a 20mm equivalent focal length and an f2.0 aperture. DJI says it can achieve up to 17 stops of dynamic range thanks to LOFIC technology, which is a pretty bold claim for a camera that still fits in your pocket. Alongside that main camera sits a dedicated 60mm telephoto lens with an f1.8 aperture. That gives you 3 times optical zoom and up to 12 times total zoom when combined with digital processing. And honestly, I think this is the feature most people will care about. Not because it zooms further, but because it changes how you shoot. For years, every pocket camera essentially saw the world the same way. Whether you were filming a landscape, a product, a person, or a travel scene, you were always working with the same perspective. Now, you have options. Portraits immediately look more natural because you're not pushing a wide-angle lens into someone's face. Product shots look cleaner. Travel footage gains a different feel. Even simple B-roll suddenly has more variety. This is why I keep saying the telephoto lens is not really about zoom. It's about storytelling, and I think many creators will appreciate that more than they initially realize. DJI also confirmed D-Log2 recording with 10-bit color, which is a significant upgrade for people who color grade their footage. The Pocket series has gradually become more professional over the years, but Pocket 4P is the first one that genuinely feels like DJI wants filmmakers to take it seriously. Add 4K 240 frames per second slow motion, improved tracking, multi-person tracking through Intelligent Follow 8.0, built-in beauty controls, live streaming support, webcam functionality, and 103 gigabytes of internal storage. And on paper, this is easily the most capable pocket camera DJI has ever made, and that's exactly why the launch is so interesting, because the camera itself is not the problem. The problem is where it sits in DJI's lineup. Think about this for a second. Pocket 4 only launched recently. Many people watching this video probably just bought one. They saw the improved sensor, the improved tracking, the 4K 240 capabilities, and thought they were buying the latest and greatest pocket camera. Then DJI teased Pocket 4P, now it's official, and suddenly a lot of people are wondering whether they bought the wrong camera. The answer, at least in my opinion, is no. Because I think people are focusing too much on the existence of the telephoto lens and not enough on how they actually shoot. Let me give you an example. Every year, Apple launches a Pro Max iPhone. Every year, YouTube convinces people they need the Pro Max, and every year, millions of people buy the regular iPhone because it already does everything they need. The Pro Max isn't better for everyone. It's better for a specific type of user. I think Pocket 4P falls into exactly the same category if you constantly shoot portraits, products, travel content, or situations where a telephoto lens adds value. Pocket 4P makes a lot of sense if most of your footage is standard vlogging, family videos, casual travel clips, and everyday content. Pocket 4 is probably already enough, and that's the problem nobody is talking about. Pocket 4P is not automatically the better purchase. It's simply the more specialized purchase. Now let's talk about some of the things people aren't happy about. The first one is vertical video. I genuinely thought this was the year DJI would finally give us native 4K vertical recording. People have been asking for it for years. Short form content is bigger than ever. TikTok, Reels, Shorts. Whether we like it or not, vertical video matters, yet Pocket 4P still doesn't fully deliver what many creators were hoping for. Will this stop people from buying it? Probably not. But it remains one of the biggest missed opportunities in the entire launch. Like the second thing is something that many people don't realize yet. That 17 stop dynamic range number everybody's talking about, that's primarily tied to the main camera. The telephoto camera isn't the star of the show when it comes to image quality. The main camera still is, and that's important because some people seem to think they're getting two identical cameras with different focal lengths. That's not really the case. The telephoto camera is there to give you flexibility. The main camera remains the camera you'll probably trust most in difficult lighting situations. And honestly, that's completely normal. Physics still exists. A dedicated telephoto camera in a device this small is always going to involve compromises. Now let's talk about pricing, because DJI surprised me here. The standard package launches at 3,799 yuan, which converts to roughly 560 US dollars. The vlog combo costs 4,299 yuan, roughly $630. And when you look at what's included, that's actually more competitive than I expected. The standard package includes the camera, fill light, grip, carrying case, and cable. The vlog combo adds a DJI Mic Mini 2 transmitter, remote viewfinder, and mini tripod. Compared to what many people feared, DJI didn't push the price into crazy territory, and that's important because Pocket 4P doesn't exist in isolation. It now has competition, real competition. Just look at Luna Ultra. For years, DJI owned this category almost by themselves. Now they don't. And I think that's why Pocket 4P exists. Not because DJI suddenly decided people needed a telephoto lens, because they knew competition was coming. Luna Ultra arrived with a detachable screen, Leica branding, unique accessories, head tracking, and a completely different approach to content creation. DJI responded by doubling down on image quality, telephoto flexibility, and a mature ecosystem. And honestly, that's great for creators. Competition forces companies to work harder. Now there is one final thing we need to discuss: global availability. Because despite today's launch, Pocket 4P is currently a China launch. And that's frustrating for many people because this camera has already generated enormous interest worldwide. We know the camera exists. We know the specifications, we know the pricing, we know the packages, but we still don't have full clarity on international availability. When will it launch globally? Will pricing remain competitive outside China? Will every market get every bundle? Those questions are still unanswered, and for many creators, that's now the biggest thing standing between them and a purchase. So after months of leaks, rumors, and speculation, Pocket 4P is finally real, and overall, I think DJI did exactly what they needed to do. They didn't reinvent the Pocket camera, they refined it, they listened to users, they added the feature people requested most, and they built what is probably the most capable Pocket camera they've ever released. The only question now is whether that capability actually matches the way you create content. Because sometimes the best camera isn't the most advanced one, it's the one that fits your workflow. Let me know in the comments. If Pocket 4P launched globally tomorrow, would you buy it? Or would you stick with Pocket 4, or Pocket 3, or maybe even consider Luna Ultra instead? I'm genuinely curious where people stand after today's launch.